Family Friendly is not just a YouTube channel, but it's a media startup built on Discord from living rooms with no sponsors and no managers. We will look in this episode how they build loyalty through personality driven content, how they monetize their traffic authentically without selling out, and we will look at the challenges they are currently facing, which other brands like MrBeast are also currently facing. Welcome to The Modern Creator, a series where we break down how real creators build freedom and their ecosystem in the increasingly growing creator economy. My name is Simon, I'm a producer and writer in the film industry, specialized in marketing and sales. I work with content creators and creative freelancers, helping them with their productions, and I share the lessons and insights with you here on this channel. So let's dive into today's episode. The people behind the channel. McCain, also known as Berserk, as the driving force. We have Joe Sizzle as the heart. They both act as the founders, they set the tone. And we have Bennett, Melt and Nathan Swift as part of the OG squad. More to them and the other characters later. The whole channel is not just a normal YouTube channel, but is built very similar to a game show. The reason why viewers, me included, are so hooked on Family Friendly is because of the characters. You don't just watch the show, you follow the personalities. We have challenges, a punishment and stakes. Our main characters have to go on a challenge, a story, a quest, and if they are not succeed on their quest, something bad is gonna happen. On the way of the story, they meet strangers, reoccurring side characters and unexpected twists. All of that performed with humor, humble confidence, fun and friendship. In this sense, Family Friendly is very similar from this game show squad culture like Sidemen, Beta Squad, MrBeast, Nahim Sky, Love Live Surf, AMP and many more. From an editing perspective, and I used to work as a short form editor, their visual style is classic for this kind of channel. We have fast cuts, loud sound design, high vibrancy, but the big unique thing in their editing is, however, that they have a big understanding in pacing. The episodes are often longer than 20 minutes, sometimes 40 minutes, sometimes even longer than an hour, but the pacing is very on point, so it never gets boring. And pacing, to be honest, is an art for itself. It's really a feeling. The reason why it works so well for Family Friendly is not because they have a lot of cuts, but because all that is shown in the video is part of the larger story, of the quest, and each scene is built like a joke. So we have a build up and then the punchline. Then the next scene we have the build up, the punchline, the build up, the punchline, and everything. Then we zoom out. It's still part of the larger story. Even though the videos seem chaotic, it's actually very calculated. In one of the videos they described that they see the channel less as a normal YouTube channel, but more as a media startup, where YouTube videos is just one aspect of it. This approach is very similar to Curtis Jackson, aka 50 Cent, who saw music also just as a tool to build a fan base and a persona, and from that expand into other areas. For me, one of the most interesting things about their strategy is that they don't rely on sponsors or ads. What is normal on YouTube, that you have within the video a sponsored ad block. This video is sponsored by da 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 da. And they don't have that. They only have ad monetization of YouTube ads, even though I think that a lot of their ad videos are demonetized due to black humor. They still make a bunch of money from AdSense on YouTube, but, and this is the really cool thing, this is just a bonus. And this is something that I talk with creators about, is that the YouTube money, the AdSense, is just a bonus, but it should not be your main income. In the case of Family Friendly, the real money comes from the drops, the merchandise drops. Every video pushes the traffic that they have with the community to familyfriendlyfans.com, where they have merch, physical products. And on the website, they offer limited items and classic items. In this sense, it's very similar to MrBeast, who promotes in each video his own products, chocolate. The cool thing about limited special drops generally is that it has natural scarcity and an increased demand because it's, from its nature, limited. It serves more than just clothing, but it's more like a collectible. But the main reason why this works so well is because the audience is loyal, not just viral. Their monetization is trust-based. A lot of creators that we see, for example, in the music industry, who have viral views, when they would make a drop like that or a concert, nobody would show up to the concert. Nobody would buy the merch. It doesn't work because the views are not built on loyalty and trust. It's just people listening the music in the background, and people just watch the content but don't follow the creator. They don't identify. In the case of Family Friendly, they have loyalty and trust in their audience. And this is what is so strong about a personal brand and to build a personal brand in the creator economy. And it's also the main reason why the whole creator economy is so fast growing and estimated to double until 2028. That is all because as a viewer, we have a stronger connection to the character on YouTube compared to TV ads or film stars who are way further apart from us. When we watch a channel like Family Friendly or Beta Squad, we have the feeling as we are being part of the group. We feel as we are with them in that situation, experiencing it with them together. Their brand, their whole brand is built like a friend, like a community, as if we are parts, experiencing it with them. The method how they created it is through authentic characters and a raw handheld filmmaking style. This makes it way more realistic, authentic, raw, simple, like as if we are there with them, way more realistic. Building a personal brand has not only positive aspects but also negative aspects. One of them is that a personal brand is centered around the person. So when the personal brand is centered around a person and the person for whatever reasons is not available, it's hard to switch or rebrand it because the trust is built on that person. Generally, in marketing, rebranding is already hard, but in personal branding, it's even harder to rebrand. And this is something that we can see right now, 2025 on Family Friendly, with Bennett and Nathan. For whatever reason, since 2025, they're no longer part of the OG squads. And you can tell in the comments and the whole performance that they are hard to replace.
Dude, that was rigged!
I mean, Joe and McCain try to slowly rebrand it with JD, who is a reoccurring side character and one of the fan favorites, and now from what it looks like also part of the main squad. But still the transition and rebrand is very hard. And you can tell in the comments that a lot of people just asking, where's Nathan, where's Bennett, when do they come back, when is the next video with Nathan, when is the next video with Bennett, etc, etc. This is a struggle that a lot of personal brands have, like Mr. Beast, and that's why you can currently see how Mr. Beast rebrands and transitions from Mr. Beast to Beast Industries, from a personal brand to a production company, like Disney. In Mr. Beast, it's a personal brand centered around him, but in Beast's industry, it's not centered on him, but it starts with him. In this way, he's symbolically like Mickey Mouse of Disney. In both cases, in Family Friendly, in the media startup, and Beast Industries, both are IPs. IP is a term we hear often in the movie industry, and it means intellectual property. For example, Star Wars or Harry Potter or Spider-Man. I could, for example, not do a Spider-Man movie because I don't own the IP rights. And intelligent creators nowadays, they not just produce content on or art like music or film, but they build IPs. A good example for that is the director and producer Ryan Coogler, who just produced the movie Sinners with Michael B. Jordan. He built with this movie an IP on which he also holds the rights. And this is very, very intelligent because in the long run, you can expand this IP into other areas and make yourself financially independent, but way more interesting, gain so way more creative freedom of your art. A great example for that is 50 Cent, but also many others that we're gonna analyze in the next episodes. That's why subscribe. This whole thing that I describe here is a new form of creator in this decade. The creator entrepreneurship. It's not just content, but it's a creative media company. Back then, for example, 10 years ago, you needed a $100,000 starting budget, a television rights, you needed to know the right people to get into certain areas, but nowadays, with the rise of the internet, creative entrepreneurship is democratized. People like you and me, we can build our own IPs, our own ecosystem, and express our creative vision, our creative freedom on low budget and scale it infinitely higher than 10 years ago. In summary, what we can learn from Family Friendly is that we don't need a viral hit, we need a loyal fan base. We build characters and tell stories, not just produce content. We create our own products like merch or communities to fund ourselves early and to position ourselves independent from sponsors and ads. We shall see our content as a media startup building IPs and not just a YouTube channel. And think long term, in 3 to 5 years, not in 3 to 5 videos. If you're an aspiring content creator and building something like this, take notes from Family Friendly. Modern creators are not just entertainers, they are media startups, and Family Friendly is a great example for that. Subscribe for more breakdowns on the modern creator economy and comment which creator should we break down next. Until we meet again in the next video.